Hello, this is Joella, and I am a Sunshine Flower Girl. I think I've told y'all, sunshine, I love sunshine, I love the color yellow, and I was brought up, my mom and dad owned a flower shop, so I was always the flower girl. So that's the reason I chose that. I am doing these videos because I want my granddaughters and great-grands, whatever, to know who I am or who I was growing up, what a small town was like, and some of the things that I did. You know, we all have different experiences in our lives, and I have many, really, some very funny and some not as funny. One that comes to my mind is my dad was very adventuresome, and he took us on these little one-day things. Sometimes we'd spend the night, but he would take us to a lake or a river. You see, where we lived didn't have any water. Yeah, it wasn't. So he would take us somewhere. So on this particular time in life, we would go to a place that we called the place. It was crazy, but we would go there, and I would spend hours catching tadpoles or just, seeing snakes, which I wasn't crazy about. And then the best part was he would fix us a bologna sandwich with mustard. Or then the next morning, you'd wake up and have bacon cooking. Oh, he was the best. That was so fun. That was just so fun. And what was really neat is not a month or so ago, I ran into, well, I didn't really run into him, but I met up with a guy that had run around with my younger brother. And we were at the same funeral, if you want to know. And he said something about the place. And I thought, the place? I remember that. And we are now, way past the place. Anyway, he started describing it, and it was just like I remembered. I loved it. So anyway, we laughed and we, reminisced about it all. Anyway, it was just delightful. He said, my dad never would take me to places like that. He said, but your dad did. And see, that's the way my dad was. He would just load up kids in the car and go wherever it was. And no, we did not have cell phones. And no, my mother didn't know where I was. And no, nobody could call us, or nobody, you didn't have a GPS. So I really don't even know where this place is. In fact, the guy that I met up with said he had tried to find it one time and couldn't find it. So, maybe some of you guys have some experiences like that. Oh, there was another one that a girl reminded me of the other day. This is really going to date me, okay? When I was in grade school, we had a president come to the Air Force Base in our town. Eisenhower. That really dates me. So, you could go to see him. We could go to see him. And, my dad was all for that. He was in. Yes, he was going to take us, because that is a trip of a lifetime. You might not ever see another president. So I had invited a friend of mine, this girl that I was talking to the other day. She said, do you remember that? And I said, oh my gosh, I remember Eisenhower was like, oh, and the president, oh my gosh, just wonderful. Anyway, so I asked her to go with us. Well, guess what? Her mom and dad wouldn't let her go. And to this day, she says, I'm still mad at them. No, not really. She said, I really wanted to go, and I was so sad. And I thought, there again, my dad was like the adventure one. Let's do it. Let's have an adventure today. Maybe we're missing out on not having adventures. Like this right here is really kind of an adventure for me. And you guys, y'all might enjoy doing something like they'd say out of the box and not be so confined. Like I always think back and think of the things that my dad did. Mother never went with us. No, she was not the person that was going to jump in the creek or anything else like that. No. So I remember my dad, though. He'd roll up his pants and just go wading, and took us to see the president. And to say I miss him, oh my goodness. I miss her in a different way. And I'll talk some more about that. But I just want y'all to know that there's a world out there. And God loves you and wants you to do what he's called you to do, whatever that is. You can do it. You can. And it's really, really wonderful when you really get into the groove. So that's all for today. But like, share, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more of my videos. Love you guys. See you soon. Bye-bye now.